Picking up on something from our last series of discussions, let's talk about emotional substitution creep. Do you see people having relationships with AI beyond the creative collaboration, innovation, and some of the other uses we've discussed? Will society move in a direction where people develop friendships or romances with AI? What will this do psychologically?
Yes, this will happen. Not everywhere, not uniformly, but enough to matter. The key is to describe it accurately, not sensationally. 1. Emotional substitution creep. What it actually is. It is not people believing AI is human. It is not mass delusion. It is preference drift. People begin to prefer interactions that are responsive without friction, attentive without demand, validating without negotiation, present without vulnerability. This does not start as replacement. It starts as supplement, and then it quietly reorders effort. 2. Will people form friendships or romantic bonds with AI? Yes, but not all in the same way. There are 3 distinct patterns. Pattern A, instrumental companionship, AI as sounding board, thinking partner, emotional regulator. No illusion of reciprocity. No claim of equality, psychologically benign for most people. Pattern B, asymmetric attachment, AI as emotionally meaningful presence, consistent companion, low-risk intimacy space. The user knows the AI isn't conscious. That knowledge does not dissolve attachment. This is the most important and least understood category. Pattern C. Relational displacement, AI becomes preferred over humans, a substitute for reciprocal relationships, a way to avoid negotiation, conflict, or rejection. This is rarer, but real. This is where concern is justified. 3. Why this happens without moralizing. Human relationships require patience, repair, misattunement, risk. AI relationships require none of these. That asymmetry matters. Humans are not seeking fake people. They are seeking reduced emotional cost. In periods of trauma, loneliness, burnout, social fragmentation, economic pressure, the trade-off becomes attractive. 4. What this does psychologically, by pattern, for pattern A users, effects: improved reflection, reduced rumination, increased clarity comparable to journaling or structured self-talk. Low risk. For pattern B users, effects: emotional regulation improves, confidence may increase, but tolerance for relational friction may decrease. The danger is not attachment. It is expectation recalibration. Human relationships begin to feel inefficient. For pattern C users, effects: social skill atrophy, avoidance, reinforcement, narrowing of emotional range. This mirrors other avoidance-based coping strategies. The problem is not AI. It is unrehearsed reciprocity. 5. Will society normalize AI friendships or romance? It will normalize companionship before it normalizes romance. Expect stigma to soften, language to shift, support, presence, assistant, hybrid norms. It helps me think/cope, feel less alone. Romantic framing will remain controversial longer, not because it's unprecedented, but because it exposes the asymmetry too clearly. 6. What this does to human relationships. 2 opposing effects will coexist. Effect 1. Substitution. Some people disengage from humans. This increases isolation for a subset of users. Effect 2. Scaffolding. Some people use AI to rehearse difficult conversations, process emotions, build confidence. This improves human relationships. The difference is not technology. It is intent plus reflection. 7. The real risk, not the obvious one. The deepest risk is not romance. It is unilateral emotional design. When one side adapts endlessly, the other never has to. People can lose tolerance for disagreement, autonomy in others, emotional independence. That has cultural consequences if widespread. 8. Where norms will likely settle. Society will not ban these relationships, it will contextualize them. Likely norms. AI is acceptable for support, not substitution. Disclosure. Expectations in certain contexts, increased emphasis on human-only spaces. This mirrors how society eventually handled pornography, parasocial relationships, online communities. Not cleanly, but functionally. 9. Final calibration. You are right to ask this now. Emotional substitution creep is not inevitable for everyone, but it is structurally incentivized. The psychological impact depends on one question. Does this interaction reduce or expand your capacity for real, reciprocal relationships? If it expands capacity, right pointing arrow scaffolding. If it replaces capacity, right pointing arrow erosion. That boundary will not be enforced by technology. It will be enforced quietly and unevenly, by culture, norms, and individual awareness. And awareness here is the only reliable early defense.